economic discourse in this country. At the same time, I would also like to appreciate Fahad Hussain Saab, whose return to media has surely helped us focus on the long game rather than just get distracted with the noise that we see around us. So Fahad Saab, for your leadership and your stewardship, I am extremely grateful. I think this conversation could not have happened at a more appropriate time, because the entire global energy system is going through a structural reset. And platforms like this, which enrich the discourse, and I think these are the values that are very dear to Express Group, and you have always endeavored to keep your criticism and your analysis fact-based. I would also like to second that this is a cause which is also very dear to me, and in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've also tried to restrict myself just to fact-based analysis and not just make noise to confuse people on issues which will impact the future generations of this country. I would also like to appreciate my friend Mr. Shahbaz Rana Sahab, who's also here. He's been providing us continued guidance on economic matters. I've always appreciated his feedback, because I personally know that his heart beats for the right reasons, and we all want a stronger and a more resilient Pakistan. So whatever advices, guidances he needs to provide, he is more than welcome to share via his articles or reach out to any one of us in the government, and it will be appreciated. Fahad Saab, on the positive feedback that you received on my attendance in your show, you can definitely use this forum to share it with the world. One of the negative feedback that you got, you have my number, and you can surely speak to me privately on that matter, and I would appreciate that. I think, now coming to the topic at hand, I think the recent disruption in the Hormuz has exposed one thing and one thing alone, and that is how vulnerable our energy supply chains are. Now, how do we utilize that to shift the entire paradigm in which we are thinking is the million-dollar question that forums like this have to thrash out? And when I say we have to push on the energy security needle, on the energy security agenda, I am not simply talking about procuring fuel or molecules from one jurisdiction and diversifying it to another jurisdiction. I think we must also appreciate what does energy security actually imply, because the way I view it, it is fundamentally linked with resilience. Yes, diversification has a huge role in it. Storages that will enable you to tide over turbulence, flexibility, infrastructure preparedness, readiness, because that's another measure, and our lack of flexibility was manifested when we, along with the colleagues from the refinery sector, were forced to procure super sweet crude, and we could not diversify it towards sourer crude supplies in distant jurisdictions. And I will also touch upon that, but I think institutional preparedness and coordination at the highest level are touchstones on which this new paradigm and this new regime has to be thought through. And I think that's the primary message that I would give while availing this opportunity. The other thing that I would like to emphasize is Abid Saab was absolutely clear that, and I'm very kind of Abid Saab to appreciate the way the government was able to handle this extremely challenging environment, because I think sometimes we do not fully appreciate the enormity of the challenge that the country went through. As far as my memory serves, and I have also consulted with my younger industry colleagues like Khatak Saab who's here, I don't think in world history Dubai crude has ever touched $170 per barrel. Khatak Saab, has it ever touched that level? No, never. So that was the enormity of the challenge. Khatak Saab, I don't think diesel Platts has ever touched $285 per barrel. I don't think it has ever happened in the history of commodity markets. And on top of that, I'm not touching upon the complications that arose because of lack of passage from the Hormuz, the lack of availability of vessels, the skyrocketing premiums, the insurances, which was something like $500,000, and we had to bring in cargoes at $5 million per vessel, just paying for that insurance cost. So I think that enormity of the challenge maybe is something that the government has not been able to fully communicate. But people in the industry and intellectuals like you, I am grateful to you, you have continued to educate people on that matter, that it was an extremely challenging environment. And ensuring seamless supply, when every third person was coming to me and telling me how much should I stock up in my embassy, how much should I stock up in my home, what should we do to run our plants, I think it was a huge challenge. And providing guidance and stability to the market, that we will respect all the contracts, all the commitments we have made. This will be a partnership, not an adversarial populist endeavor in which we will cull the sanctity of contracts to attain small gains on any other front. So I think that is something that I would like to appreciate. And Faz Saab and Abid Saab, you mentioned.
वफाकी वज़ीर अली परवेज़ मलिक इस्लामाबाद में तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे हैं। और अब न्यूज़ अपडेट।
Geo News updates are brought to you by
Live lighter. Have a weight management conversation with your doctor today.
And
Winston UX. Some call it shampoo. I call it the best.
And
Cerelac का special NutriBlend, जिसमें है नन्हे पेट की बड़ी ख़िज़ा.
And
no hair fall worries.
नया Dove Hair Fall Rescue. Pakistan's best hair fall solution.
And
रोशन डिजिटल अकाउंट खोलकर कामयाबी के सफर में शामिल हो जाएं।
इस्लामाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने बानी पीटीआई और बुशरा बीबी का वकालतनामा दस्तखत करवा के देने की हिदायत कर दी। बानी पीटीआई और बुशरा बीबी की अपीलों पर समाअत के दौरान अदालत ने मार्क्स दिए कि बानी और बुशरा बीबी के वकील ने आइंदा समाअत पर दलाइल का आगाज ना किया तो कानून अपना रास्ता लेगा। और कराची में जिला जनूबी के 20 पुलिस एहलकारों को जोन बदर कर दिया। डीआईजी साउथ का कहना है कि एहलकारों की गैर समाजी सरगर्मियों और नज्म ज़ब्त की खिलाफवर्जियों में मुलव्वस होने की निशानदही हुई।
खेलते हैं बालों का फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स। अपने बालों के बारे में कुछ अच्छा भरिए। कुछ अच्छा हेयर फॉल की वजह से कुछ अच्छा नहीं भर पाए? आपके बालों को चाहिए प्रोटीन का रिफिल। नया डव हेयर फॉल रेस्क्यू। इसमें है बायो प्रोटीन, ये बालों के खाली हिस्सों में प्रोटीन फिल करके हेयर फॉल कम करे 98% तक।
अब बाल देखें 2 गुना घने, स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड नो हेयर फॉल वरीज।
नया डव हेयर फॉल रेस्क्यू, पाकिस्तान बेस्ट हेयर फॉल सोल्यूशन।